As we tiptoe into pre-season over in the EFL, I thought I'd revisit my predictions for the brand new 2024-2025 League One campaign. I've already made my early predictions, but now it's time to tweak them and give you a bit of an update. What have I said? Who's going up? Who's going down? We're going to get into it next. Another video. Today we're taking another look over at League One. The brand new 2024-2025 League One season is drawing upon us very, very soon as we enter maybe the final 4 or 5 weeks of pre-season. I've already made my early door picks back at the end of May. What has changed in that month? Who's now going up? Who, of course, now will go down back to League Two. We'll get into all of it in a minute. Big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, smash the old subscribe. Your one-stop shop for League One is right here under one roof. Now, we do this every year. We take a couple of cracks at it before we finally settle on our decisions for the end of the campaign. So, who, of course, is my new pick for the title? I do have a new number one in my eyes for the new season. We'll get to that in a minute. Smash the like, smash the subscribe. But let's jump in. We are going to do it a little bit different than we did previously. Of course, I did something like this with the bookies odds, and that actually gave me the inspiration to revisit my picks right here, right now. So we're going to do it in a tier list system. We're going to have 2 clubs up here in the championship promote automatic spots. We're going to have 4 in the playoffs. Of course, a cluster in these 2 here, and then 4 going down, right? 4 go down to League Two. They're going to come at you in random order. And again, I have made my early predictions. That was back end of May. But since then, we've had new managers coming in. We've had a little bit of transfer activity as well, which may have shaped things up, and a little bit more clarity on some of the clubs. For example, I did have Wigan in the top 2. I've revisited that. And I've also revisited Birmingham City. So we'll talk about that. Let's get into it then, shall we? Of course. And look, and coming at you in random order. We're going to probably start about 13th spot. That's right. And that's going to be down here. And that will be, if I can find their bloody badge, it's Wycombe Wanderers, that's right. Yeah, going under the radar, not really much going on. Again, I have not done a deep dive. I've not done a deep dive in the clubs just yet. I will be a little bit, paying a bit more attention as we enter the month of July. Look at the transfer stuff, take some notes, scribble them down, and then come at you before the season starts. But right now, my vibe on Wycombe is 13th place. They did finish 10th last season, but this division seems to just get stronger and stronger every season. I just don't know at the moment. I feel Wycombe are going to be on the back foot here in a very competitive. Don't get me wrong, they'll be all right, but yeah, same can be said for a team that were flying at the end of last season. That's Lincoln. I have Lincoln down there into 14th as well. Lincoln just finished in 7th, had a great, fantastic back end of the season, and just missed out on the playoffs on the final day. Lincoln under Michael Skalubala did wonders. I really want to see them succeed. I'd love to see them do an Oxford and get into the promised land, and that is League One. Sorry, the Championship. God, I'm all over the place. But yeah, Lincoln again. The division is strong, especially that mid pack. And I'm not even talking about the playoffs. I'm talking about the mid pack. That 7th to 12th is stacked. So Lincoln down there for me, 14th spot. They were 7th last season. Joining them down into 15th, another team who were flying high to a point. And that is Leyton Orient. They're going to be down there, of course. Matey boy, Richie Wellens still at the helm there. Done great wonders for them to not only stay in this division, but thrive. They'll still be here. They'll thrive once again. But unfortunately down to 15th in my eyes. A team that I don't know what's really going on at the moment is Bristol Rovers. That's right. Bristol Rovers coming at you in 16th spot, which is a point or position down from last time. They were 15th last season. I think they're going to be there or thereabouts. They've stuck with Matey Boy Taylor at the dugout. So I don't know what's going on. If they're strengthening, do they still have that Sinclair fella? I really don't know. So again, I'll do my research. Maybe you guys can convince me in the comments that Bristol Rovers should be further up the thing, but I just don't see it. It's 15th last time, 16th this time. This one's a bit of a sucker punch blow as well. Northampton Town. I did see the bookies have these guys to struggle. And again, they did wane a little bit last season, 14th in the campaign. I do have them down to 17th. I think Brady's doing wonders here to keep Northampton Town not only in this division, but competitive last season. They were flirting for a little bit in mid-table. But again, 17th, I can't see much better than that in my eyes. Meanwhile, we're going to take a little look at Exeter City again. They're 13th last season, a drop off to 18th right now, 5 positions down. They've kept Caldwell between the dugout there, still trying to get these guys moving. There was a point where he was on a real bad run, and I thought they were going to part ways, but he managed to ride through it, give Exeter a 13th place finish, but this time 18th, which could probably push them in another direction, maybe this season or maybe even next season. Next up, we have into 19th spot, Cambridge. Now, I think I had them going down in my first video. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Cambridge under Gary Monk is a good manager. He goes under the radar, very vanilla. No, he's not going to get your headlines, but he's done his bit. And I'm quite surprised it took him long enough to get another job. But he came in at the back end of the season, got Cambridge up to 18th. I don't see much progression for him. I've got him in 19th right now. But it's tough. It's tough down there, especially when you got some momentum coming at you from the league below. And we'll talk about that now, of course, as we talk about Mansfield. I have Mansfield surviving 20th under Nigel Clough. Of course, promoted last season in the automatic spots. They did it the hard way. But I have them in 20th, hanging on for dear life and avoiding the drop. Now we're going to enter the drop zone now. I'm going to talk about the first, which was a high flyer last season. We finished 9th last campaign, but the reason they finished 9th was because their main man left. Steve Evans left. I've got Stevenage going down. Unfortunately, I don't see them surviving. Alex Revel is the manager there, formerly of Cambridge. Was that right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I just don't see them sticking around. They had a fantastic season. A little hard done by, and I guess Steve Evans saw the light at the end of the tunnel there, thinking that I ain't going to get these guys over the line. Jumped ship, opportunity came around, took it, and I think he could be something to talk about next season. But Stevenage, for me, under Revel, ain't going to last. Meanwhile, also ain't going to last. They've been flirting as well for last season and beyond. Burton Albion, of course, now with Mark Robinson at the helm, they're going down. I don't see them making a move anywhere up the table. So there could be a surprise package, but realistically, at the moment, where I'm standing, they're going to go down. Of course, the drop off of a couple of spots there into 22nd. Joining them will be the Shrews. Shrewsbury are going down as well. They finished 19th last season. I think they're going to get sucked into it. Paul Hurst did have a good season with Shrewsbury quite a few years back now, but I don't think he's the man to get these guys up the table at the moment. They need something else, need something refreshing, and he ain't it. And joining them will be the newly promoted side, Crawley, who play some mad-ass football to get to this point. I don't think it's going to cut it, though, in this league. Scott Lindsay, fantastic manager for them at this point. If he can keep him in this division, build him a bloody statue, that's right. So Crawley, for me, going down, 24th spot. But now let's talk about the real business end of the campaign. We're talking about just outside the playoffs. And this is stacked to the ding-dong. We're going to start with Blackpool in 12th. That's right, got Blackpool in 12th under Critchley. Finished 8th last season. I do know they picked up Jordan Rose. I don't really know what else is going on transfer-wise. We will take a deep dive into that. But Blackpool, again, competed, flirted with the playoffs a little bit to a point, a little bit cut short in the end. 3 points shy last time around, but it is much more difficult to break into it this time around. You look at the guys that are coming down, they're going to be competing. A couple of the guys that have already coming up are trying to ride the momentum train themselves and get into those playoffs and even automatic spots. But Blackpool, unfortunately, will be one of the unlucky losers here. 12th. Meanwhile, Stockport County. These are a team to fear. I don't know where I had them in my last video, and I may be doing them a little bit hard done by here in this video. But I've got them into 11th spot right now, David Challenger. But a lot of folks are tipping them to do well. They've got the backing. They've got the fans. They're going to be difficult to play against, and they've got, like I said, the momentum with them at the moment, following on from that successful season in League Two. We actually play them in, when I say we, Blackburn Rovers play them in the Cup, so we'll give a little taster of what they're all about early doors in the season, so we'll see what the fans are all about going to Edgeley Park. But for me, I think they're just going to be a little shy here and get into 11th spot. Joining them will be 10th place, Wigan. I did have Wigan up as in the automatics, I think, but people are saying they got no money. And they're selling assets or what have you. I don't know, but I've been convinced, and that's how easy it is. That's how gullible or naive I can be. You get in the comments and you say Northampton Town are the best thing since last bed. My next video might see Northampton Town up into the playoffs. So convince me in the chat that something I'm saying is nonsense, and also give me your points of view. I love to hear your points of view it will start me to do a deep hole, dig a deep hole, and maybe investigate what you're talking about. But right now, I've been convinced somehow along the way that Wigan ain't going to make it, and they're going to be around about 10th. Then I'm going to go with Wrexham, of course. A lot of people tip Wrexham to be in the playoffs. I'm not so sure just yet. I think they'll have a season of stability. They will probably push for the playoffs. 9th in my eyes. Phil Parkinson knows what he's doing. Been there, seen there, and done it. And now he's on the right good old surge with Wrexham. And it must be feeling good for him. Back-to-back promotions from non-league to the League 2, League 2 to League 1. He's on a runaway train right now, but I think that's going to take a stop at the moment. They are spending cash as well. Like I did have a quick look, and they have some heavy hitters already, so they're going to be there or thereabouts. But I just think the competitive nature, when you look at the playoffs, so the teams that have in the playoffs, these guys have been here, seen it, and done it, and are regulars. They're regulars, not only in that top end of the table, but regular playoff fighters. They're scrappy. They know what it is to get into the playoffs. Wrexham at this stage is unknown territory, and I think they're going to kind of have a rude awakening at some point in the season. Meanwhile, I'm going to put in Reading up there, just outside the playoffs in 8th. Ruben Selles ground out a 17th place finish. They did have a points deduction last time around. I don't think they have a points deduction this time around. And this is more of a blind pick here, because I don't know how good Reading realistically are. Are they really going to be just outside the playoffs? We'll see. But it's a blind one. It's a gamble, but we're going to go with it. And then Barnsley, also just outside the playoffs. I'm not big. I didn't realise they got Darryl Clark as manager, who his recent track record is from clubs that were at the lower end of the table, not necessarily towards the top end of the table. Maybe credit to him for getting a top end job, who Barnsley did finish in the playoffs last season, but I think they're just going to be just a little shy, a position backwards here in 7th from last season's 6th. So those are my unlucky losers, but now we have 6 clubs left, 6 spots, 2 automatic, and 4 promotion playoffs. I'm going to start with 6 regular faces here, and that is Peterborough. They're back once again, finished 4th last time around. They got Darren Ferguson. Like I said, they know how to do it. They know how to get to this, grind out the results, get into this positions in the table, so they will be there or thereabouts once again. Meanwhile, new to the town, new to the territory or unfamiliar ground, but not for this guy. It is Nathan Jones and Charlton Athletic. I've got them up at 5th right now. A major jump from 16th all the way up to 5th. I think there was not many defeats in his tenure. A lot of draws, but a pre-season under Nathan Jones. They'll get it right. They might not be the most attractive football, but they'll grind out results. Consider Nathan Jones the current Tony Pulis. He'll grind out results, a lot of shithousery, a lot of dirty tactics to get to wherever they need to do, but they'll get there. And of course, playoff bound, I have Charlton Athletic. Into 4th, we have a relegated side, and that will be Huddersfield Town. That's right. Again, Michael Duff, the manager there, formerly of was he Barnsley? Formerly of Swansea, didn't really work out there. Will it work out at Huddersfield? Huddersfield, big club here, especially in this level, should be doing well, but maybe the expectation might be a bit too much. Maybe the owners might be a bit too much. They're a little bit haphazard, weren't they, with the dealing of their managers? So I don't know if the relationship with Duff and Huddersfield Town will work out in the end. So that's why I have them in, because people will say, why you put them down in 4th? Why so low? But I think there's going to be a struggle between the coach, the owners, maybe. So they won't get automatics, but they'll be there or thereabouts. So sort of straight ass season. And then, of course, no movers into 3rd spot. It will be Bolton Wanderers in my eyes. No change at the managerial department. In fact, hold the phone. I'm changing my mind. It's not changing my mind. I misread. They're not in 3rd. They're in bloody 2nd. That's right. I'm going to put them in 2nd. Bolton Wanderers in 2nd. Ian Everett, a progress from 3rd into 2nd. They've been there, seen it, and done it. Of course, there is maybe a bit of a rejig in personnel at Bolton. So I'm reading a lot of players might be on the move, or at least a few key faces. So it might be a little bit of a different season. But they've got the fans, they've got the backing, they've got the coach, and I think they'll get it right this time. So into 3rd spot, just missing out, is Birmingham City. That's right. They are talking about throwing money at this league, etc., etc. But you are putting your hope. And again, I made this call last time. I had Birmingham in the top 2 last time with the idea that Tony Mowbray would be the manager moving forward, or maybe even Gary Rowett being the manager. But this Chris Davies fella, I don't know much about him, you know. And yeah, I know he comes in as from Spurs, assistant manager or something like that. Those either work out amazingly or they don't work out at all. And I think this could be more of the latter. I don't know much about him, so I'm a little bit hesitant about him as the coach. And they may see that later on, about December time, pull the plug and then bring in a more experienced manager, a Rowett, a Warnock or something, whatever, just to kind of get them up the line and get promoted for the first time. I think they'll just miss out because of that. And I think third place finish will be where Birmingham City end. But for me, top spot right now is Rotherham United. They are buying everybody. I'm quite surprised I haven't been bought yet because they bought 10, 11 new faces. They've got Steve Evans, who seems to get the best out of an average bunch. And they're bringing in good names, solid names. They've been very active on the transfer market. They have me convinced that they're gonna blow this league apart. But what I can say is that's a lot of new faces to come together to gel. So it might be a bit of a gamble by bringing in so many new faces. They did lose their keeper as well, but look to be bringing in a compatible or a decent replacement. But that's my new updated League One predictions for the brand new season. Do you agree? Do you disagree? This is your chance now to come into the comments and say, Dirk, you're talking out your arse. Birmingham are going to blow this league. Dirk, what are you talking about? Wrexham are going to get relegated. They're dog shit. Let me know in the comments what you think. And then I'm going to come back one more time. And when I say one more time, around about this time in July, so 28th, 29th July, before a ball has been kicked, and make my last minute predictions for the season. Because if Peterborough come in here and buy 4 £2 million players, then you know what? I'm going to put Peterborough top billings, or at least have to think about it. That's my take on it, guys. Smash the subscribe, smash the like, get involved in the comments, and we'll see you soon, very, very soon, for some more football action.